Hey, Lorain County Friday Night Lights. We're finally in studio, week 3, KM Voice Studios here in North Ridgeville. Everything that's here is brought to you by KM Voice Productions here. Tyler on the ones and twos. Make sure I get a shout out there. Got a great collab with Lorain County Friday Night Lights, but it's all KM Voice Production right here. So, how's it going? How's it going? RS? How you doing?
Doing well. Doing well. Long
Yeah.
week.
Long, short week, huh?
Long, short week. Yep. Just
Yeah.
getting ready for some football tomorrow and then Saturday. And
Wow.
Sunday. We got
Wow.
all three. Starting tonight, I guess, right? The
Yeah.
Rapper Chiefs. So
Yeah. Where are they in? Where are they at? Brazil?
no, that's Packers and Eagles, right?
Uh,
Is that tomorrow?
and they're playing Friday night.
I think so,
Give
right?
it a rest, NFL. Friday nights for high school, man.
No, I know.
Stop it. Stop it.
Hey, just wait till they make the Buckeyes play on a Friday night, because that's coming. And Ohio State's gonna have a coronary. Of course, they played away on a Friday night, played at Indiana and at Minnesota. But if they make them play one here, oh boy,
Not
smart.
good. Not smart. I mean, right? High school on Friday, college on Saturday, pros on Sunday.
No.
It's
Yeah,
tradition, right? Tradition.
Let me tell you what's going to happen too. Now,
Right.
NFL is going to try to get into Labor Day. You watch. They're going to start coming up and trying to play on Labor Day when that's really the week 1 of the college season.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do
Watch
that.
it happen.
I mean, if you're asking me to pick over my Buckeyes, good luck with you. I'm
That's
not.
what they're going to do. They're greedy,
Right.
man.
Okay.
Greedy.
Yeah.
All about greed.
Yeah.
They're seeing the ratings that they're getting in week 1, even week 0. But
Right.
week 1, they're looking at that and go, hey, well, let's get a
Right.
piece of that. That's what you
Right.
watch.
Right. Hey, Steve, we're at 9,536 members strong here as week 3. So 10,000 is in our sights. That's still our goal, and I don't see how we can't get there. We've got a lot of things going on today. Congratulations, Evan Coons of the Vermilion Sailors. We'll have him on at the bottom of the hour. He's got to be our first sailor that won the Peace, Love, and Little Donuts Player of the Week.
Is that ever?
First sailor ever. Yes, first sailor ever. So congratulations to him and the Sailor Faithful. So if you take a look at the start of the week, I always put up the Dan Martin Home Improvement Breakdown. And we talk about not 2, not 4, but 6 of the games that the Lorain County Sports Network covers. So take a look. If I talk too fast or you miss one, you can just go back to the group and search Dan Martin's Home Improvements, and we have a breakdown. I do a breakdown every Monday to let you know what we have going on for the week. And as always, Thursday night, 7 o'clock, from podcast Steve to
Broadcast.
there. You got it right here.
I'm gonna tell you, you
7
got two. Boy, you got 2 intriguing games though on there, don't you?
Right. So we're going to start
awesome.
with the WOBL game. This game can be you can listen to it at 1320 AM, 107.7 FM, and you can also stream it at www.wwoblradio.com. That's Columbia at Northwestern. So Northwestern for the last couple years have played all 3 non-conference games have all been Lorain County Lorain County League opponents. So I believe last week they played Black River, and I think they started the season off against Keystone, and then now they have Columbia. So seemed like it would have been a great opportunity if they wanted to expand and Northwestern put in their application for the Lorain County League. So you've got that game. Pre-game's at 6:30, Steve. Kicks off at 7. And then for the WDLW game, which can be heard on 1380 AM and 98.9 FM, along with can listen to it at you can stream it also at www.wdlwradio.com, is Streak Week. Sandusky Blue Streaks come to George Daniel Field, take on Lorain High Titans. So old Buckeye foe, Steve. That should be a good one. And you can listen to that on WDLW. Pre-games at 6:30, kicks at 7. And then we've got the game that most of us are talking about. Glenville at Avon. Avon, what's three touchdown favorites, Steve?
26.5 point favorites.
26.5 point favorites. Avon's rolling. They're hosting the Tar Blooders at Mark Wahlberg Stadium in Avon, and that's the Lorain County Sport Network video stream game. So you can go to YouTube and search Lorain County Sports Network. Pre-games at 6:30, kicks at 7. So that's one of 2 games. So that's 3. And then we've got Lutheran East at Oberlin. Now, because the Oberlin Phoenix, Steve, play at Oberlin College, they don't kick off till 7:30. So pre-games at 7, kicks at 7:30. So OB's in the house. You know what? Our great high school rival in all our sports, right? Football,
Always.
basketball, and track. We've had our battles with OB.
You think that's who it was? Always Oberlin, a little bit Ridgeville, right? You think?
Yeah. That's a fair statement. That's a fair statement. And they're on Lorain County Sports Network. So Lutheran East Falcons travel to the Oberlin Phoenix. I almost slipped during my 11 o'clock live show, but I pulled through. Yeah, the Oberlin Phoenix, Tyler's team, and maybe Coach Washington get their first win, and at home, much improved, scored 26 points last week. So that's your Lorain County Sports Network game. Again, you can search that on YouTube, search Lorain County Sport Network. So there you go, Steve. You got 4. And then we've got your surprise team, and we'll talk more about them. North Olmsted Eagles traveling to Amherst to Mercy Health Stadium, and Amherst, as Comets are 2-0. That'll be a jam photography game, so she'll have exclusive photos and content that only can be seen on her website and Lorain County Friday Night Lights.
It'll be
Facebook.
a little hot dog heaven and get down to the field, right?
Get down to the field.
Have you been to the new hot dog heaven since the old one caught on fire?
I have not. I have not.
I know they redid. I've been there since there.
Yeah, and Jam Photography will have some T-shirts to throw up in the stands. And the Lorain County Friday Night Lights moms will really enjoy that. So that's our 5th game, and then our final game will be me. Lorain County Friday Night Lights will be at Dan Reeser Stadium at the corner of Golf and Poplar. I will be there to give you updates as the Middies travel to take on the Panthers. The Panthers right here are at 0-2, and we'll talk more about that game against Mayfield. But the Middies come in at 2-0. So this is, we break the season down, Steve, into 3 parts, right? We've got our non-conference, which is we conclude that tomorrow night, and then we have our conference, and then we start week 11. So I'm not going to say it's impossible because with the expansion of playoffs, but it's kind of a must-win for the Panthers. What do you think, Steve?
You have to. You can't go 0-3 like that. I think that means you got to go minimum 6-1 down the stretch.
Yeah.
I think 6-4 is probably it. Yeah, I don't think that happens.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. That's tough sledding. So,
hey, Rich, were you one of the ones who went up to hot dog heaven when we were in track?
Yes.
The heat was over and Zekman got mad, and
yes.
then I started on purpose and I had to run sprints for like a month. Yeah, it
yes,
wasn't good.
that I'm guilty.
I took one for the team.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty as charged, but
We'd already won the meet. We'd already won.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he's probably going to see this. He's probably will be texting me.
Tippy toe.
Oh wow. Okay.
I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. So obviously, if you're watching this, you have Facebook. But if you have friends or family, particularly Evan Coons, who will have an interview at the bottom of the hour, and you want to see this, You can view it on YouTube. And
YouTube.
our YouTube moment is brought to you by Network Land and Title Agency. They would like you to go on YouTube and like, share, and subscribe to Lorain County Friday Night Lights as we keep on expanding on through positively through all our social media platforms. So again, Network Land Title Agency would like you to like, share, and subscribe to YouTube. You can view this on YouTube along with our 100 years of football, 100 years on the gridiron, Lorain versus Elyria. That's up on YouTube also. So, Steve, how many views did we have last week?
We had, I think last that I saw, we were at 65 or 67 on YouTube, which is actually the most ever. We had 63 week 10 last year, and then I think we had 63 week 1.
Okay.
So that was the most we've had. And then I think on Facebook, I think total views last I saw was like 247, something like that. So I think it was actually combined the most we've had. I think since
Okay.
you've been doing this, I know definitely on YouTube.
Oh, awesome, awesome. And then we'll touch base in the second half hour. We'll talk about Lorain County Friday Night Lights 614 edition as that continues to grow. So again, we're sitting here at KM Voice Studios here in North Ridgeville, and we started this new thing that the top 10. So Ruoff Mortgage sponsors our top 10 list on Twitter, Facebook, and during our podcast, presented by Rodney Reynolds. Help making the dream of home ownership one loan at a time. So, Steve, we talked a bit briefly. And we can go into a little bit in depth about the Avon McKinley game. You have a little different insight on there. They still remember they were unanimous number one. That's no surprise. So
It
they
should be.
so,
It should be.
okay.
It should be. But I'm gonna tell you what, I'm giving the McKinley perspective, right? Because I saw the watch part of it. Didn't get to watch the whole game, but
Right.
they're telling me, and I didn't see this. I know Good threw 3 touchdown passes and still had what 323 yards.
Correct.
But they're telling me that McKinley had 3 touchdowns called back by penalty, and they thought they were equal to Avon in every name of the game, physicality, speed. Now this is coming from McKinley people,
Right.
right or wrong. I
So
mean,
if
I'm
you're
sure.
if you were at Mark Wahlberg Stadium Friday night, chime in. Let us know. Did the Camp McKinley Bulldogs, did they get 3 touchdowns called back? Because I didn't hear that. Go ahead.
That's what they told. Actually, had a discussion with them today. There was 3 of them.
Okay.
That's what they swear to me. I go, okay,
Okay.
didn't hear that, didn't see that.
Right.
And though they thought Avon was really good, they thought they were just as good as they are. But they're kind of funny because they're like, long as it, we'll take the Avon loss as long as it makes us better for Massillon.
Right,
So,
right. That's the focus. That's the focus there. So and then North Ridgeville, they continue to roll. They take care of Valley Forge 49-13. I do a little glance at inside the numbers, and North Ridgeville has only given up 13 points in eight quarters. And I hate to say this, they've only given the 13 points they gave up against Valley Forge was the balance of the game was over. Steve, they were up 49. So I'm imagining when you got a running clock that you had some reserves in there. So
how about a school that's made the incremental jump each of the last 3 years? We kind of predicted it, right?
Right.
They got competitive, then they made the playoffs, and now they're like this, knocking on Avon's door, right?
Right.
And that game,
right.
is that next weekend? Is that next weekend?
Week 5.
Week 5. Okay.
Week 5. So we got a couple.
Is that at Ridgeville?
I'm not sure. If you're out there in Facebook land live, let us know if the Rangers are hosting that game. That game was going to be packed, to say the least. Get there early, or you're going to be up against the fence. Similar.
You know what that's a good indication of too. When the young kids are actually better than your older players,
right?
You got to play younger players.
Just
One,
have to.
it's a fair thing to two,
right?
But because they played their sophomores, and I think, am I wrong? A couple freshmen even. Right. 2 years ago. Now these sophomores are seniors. They've played together technically 3 years. Went 2 rounds in the playoffs, correct? Won 1 week, 1 lost week 2.
Right.
And now they're not, I think, well, it's going to be interesting because I think Amherst is going to be there too. But I'll tell you, Southwestern Conference, name a better probably Division II conference in the state.
The
I,
Southwest Conference.
I don't think there is. No way.
I mean, you're there in the 614. I don't know. I know
No
Cincinnati's
way.
got a big Catholic conference. I mean,
I don't think
and
it's.
we'll talk more about that. About
And
the
I'll tell
Southwest.
them,
It would make it make sense. We'll revisit.
right,
We'll visit
right.
that. Yeah.
And I'll make a comment too.
Right.
I think Division II, top four, Avon, Massillon,
Hoban.
Hoban, and I'll add McKinley in there too. Better than the top four Division I.
Is
Who, I mean, who,
McKinley is a two? Huh?
yeah. So you
Wow.
got those four, along with what Hoban, did I say? Oh, who's I mean, who's going to compete with Ed's Division I in up Northeast Ohio? And I don't think anybody's that great here, Division I. And
Right.
I heard Cincinnati's down. So who do you got? I mean, Ed's is pounding. I mean, Ed's took the
Maybe Menor is one of your top five schools in
yeah,
Division One. That
maybe.
shocks me that they only have one high school in Camp McKinley and it's Division 2. Wow,
Yep.
that's similar to Sandusky. I think they're like a three.
Yeah,
It's
three. Hey,
just
what I didn't know
yeah.
is did Columbia drop? I saw where they were a six. Were they a six last year, or
I
were they a
believe they are a
five?
five. I believe they are
We're
five.
six now.
Yeah,
I saw they were six because I saw
right,
early top 10 small school thing, and I
right,
don't know which paper I read all of them, and they had Columbia number 6 or 9 in the state small school,
right,
which I'm surprised it won on one, and I thought they were five last year, so they must have dropped.
right. Much improved Fairview, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Or they play the Cardinals. We'll talk about that with who you got. And our Railroad Brewing Center station review. We'll talk a little bit more about the Brookside Cardinals. But our top three remain the same. Lorain on Saturday went to Leary and took care of the Pioneers in a rivalry game. I believe it was 47-16 maybe. I'm not sure, but a dominant performance by the Titans. So they remain at three. And then with all this talk of Avon and Amherst, you know what? Schools we kind of forgot about Clearview, Steve.
Three and
They sit at
three.
two. They sit at 2-0. I mean, Cy Christensen. I got his numbers here. He was part of our Peace, Love, and Little Donuts poll for Player of the Week, and I believe Cy went. Man, I have it here. He was 10 of 12, very efficient. 223 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Hey,
They
how
just
about for the year? How
yeah
about for the year?
yeah
380, 384 yards completion percentage, which I think is huge. 75.8.
yeah. You're looking at after three games. Before we play conference, he's gonna have 1,000 yards in the air. So they probably like it that way. Clearview just keep getting percolating up the standings. Sit at 2-0, and
So if
then
they win this week,
yeah.
they'd be their first 3-0 start in what, 5 years? 2019, I read. Or was
Okay.
that two? Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I read.
Okay.
So
Okay. And then if we look at Amherst at number 5. They were the largest jump in Lorain County Friday Night Lights top 10. Steve, they jumped 4 spots. Um, Amherst doubled up Buckeye, who was favored to win the game.
hey,
Buckeye, yeah,
think of it this way. They're undefeated. Who else is undefeated? Lorain. And Lorain's looked really good, right?
right.
And who dominated who in preseason
From all
exhibition?
indications I heard Amherst took care of Lorain. So I know that Kimball had a big play, but
Yep.
I felt like from what I heard that Amherst was able to
Yep.
sustain drive. So
Hey, they're
and
going to be
then
up higher than that, I
we
think.
go to another surprise is we've got the Vermilion Sailors and Midview. They both were tied in points in the Lorain County Friday Night Lights top 10, uh, and they were both sit at number 6. Vermilion again, just like Amherst, up 4 spots. Steve, talk a little bit about the Vermilion Sailors.
Well, when you can run the football and then you can run play action pass off of it, and obviously when you have 22 rushes for 275 yards, you're physical, is
Right,
what I heard. They were against Brookside and
right,
and then their first scrimmage. I mean, you're going to win some games, and this is kind of like North Ridgeville and then Amherst, and I guess Lorain to a degree too. The program played younger guys. They're
Right.
starting to grow up together, and they're starting to win. And obviously, Player of the Week. I mean, 207 or 276 yards. I mean, that's crazy. And it was a close game for a while, and it looked like they took over there from about the beginning of the third through the early fourth because they were down early and just came back, stuck to their game plan evidently, and got Evan the ball. So good for them.
Yeah, so they move up 4 spots. Midview is tied with Vermilion. They've got a stingy defense. They pitched a shutout, Steve, but they're struggling on offense. It was 0-0 tie at half. DeJour Jones in a third quarter returned a 69-yard punt for a touchdown, and then Cameron West and late in the game sealed the victory for the Midview Middies, and they won 14-0 over North Olmsted. So, and then we've got it's a mystery, Steve. Avon Lake Shoreman, they sit at 1-1. I got an opportunity to watch a little bit on Lorain County Sports Network, and kid first play from scrimmage popped it for 75 yards, and Benny never looked back. So the Shoremen are sitting at 1-1.
Don't count them out though.
Right, right,
I mean, you got two really good receivers, Stewie
right,
and then I can't remember the other kid's name.
right,
And obviously they can throw the ball, and
right.
it's still going to come down. I mean, that whole Southwest Conference, you got to get through. If you're Avon Lake, get through at 2-1, and then the real season begins, right? So you take everything you've learned about what your team can or can't do, and go hit it up because you got. I mean, you think about the gauntlet you got to play. You're Avon Lake, you got to play Avon, good team, obviously. Ridgeville, good team. Amherst, getting a lot better. Olmsted Falls, not bad. Bree and Mid Park, no matter what the deal is, they got numbers, they got speed, and then you got what, Elyria. Elyria's got to get better. Um, Man, that's 7 tough. You don't have a break besides Elyria. Obviously, I don't think you have much of a gimme game there, and I don't think they are either. I don't think they ever would be, but you don't have no breather. That's 7 tough games in a row.
Yeah, tough sledding there. So, and then we've got Columbia, who I watch on Lorain County Sports Network. They are 1-1, a much improved Fairview football team. That so they
We'll find out about our cards, aren't we?
yeah, they slipped it. They slipped to 1-1, and then Keystone. They outgained Cloverleaf, Steve, by 120, 140 yards, 100 in the air, but they just couldn't muster enough points, and they lose 21-14 to Keystone. And
Shackelford looked real good, right?
yeah, and then
252.
and then Columbia. So Columbia was they dropped the furthest, so they dropped 3 spots for our Lorain County Sports, Lorain County Friday Night Lights top 10. And then for the other games, our Railroad Brewing Center Station review, we've Brookside lost to Huron 41-7. Honestly, I don't know why we're playing the Huron Tigers, but it is what it is. So they take it on the chin, and they look back in on the winning ways. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Week 3 approaches. They play Fairview, and then Wellington against Mapleton. Look at the stats. Steve, looked like the difference. That was a 35-yard field goal. That was a field goal. I mean, all 3 phases, right?
Hey, Jim Trussell, right?
All 3 phases.
Best playing football, the punt and the
kick. And 35 yards in high school football is nothing to sneeze at. Then Oberlin, get ready to sneeze. Oberlin and Brooklyn. Oberlin put up 26 points against Brooklyn. Brooklyn, another team that plays all their non-conference games in the Lorain County League. Kind of makes you wonder why did the Patriot League break up? But yeah, Oberlin loses to Brooklyn 26-42. And then Black River played Northwestern last week, and Black River comes up short, 21-26. This is the one. EC, Steve, had a 26-0 lead.
Can't do that.
Loses to Mayfield. Mayfield comes to Elyria week 1, week 2. They go to the south side on week 1 and take care of the Pioneers. And then they come to the corner on the north side. They come to corner of Poplar and Golf and take down the Panthers after being down 26-0. They go away. They go home 32-26. So I'm sure they're going to want to come back to Leary next year.
God, if you're at EC, you just can't lose a 26-0 lead.
Yeah.
That was like what, beginning of the third quarter?
Yeah. It was 26-0 lead. So, Steve, we're gonna take a break, and then we come back to the other side. We'll have Evan Coons of the Vermilion Sailors, our first sailor to be the Peace, Love, and Little Donuts Player of the Week. Lorain County Friday Nights will be right back. And remember, stay positive, stay healthy. We'll be right back.
So we're here at Railroad Brewing Company, Center Station. This is our new restaurant that we opened in March of 2023. This is soon to be home of our production center. Hopefully by spring of 2024, we'll be fully operational. We're open 6 days a week. We are closed on Tuesdays for our staff day. Friday night is our chef special, and as well as Friday nights when we do our tailgating events for the Lorain County football games, we'll have wing specials and beer specials as well as boards set up. Give an opportunity to tailgate a little bit before heading down to the high school games. For Browns games, we do all you can eat wings with your first beverage included for $20 as well. So a lot going on. We try to do something every day to try to get as many people in here to enjoy what Avon has to offer and what Railroad Company has to offer. We have 12 tap handles. We typically have our beer always on tap. However, with our remodeling going on, you'll start to see in the next upcoming months some more guest handles involved, and we try to go out and get some beers that you might not be as familiar with, some smaller breweries like us to try to feature. But come spring next year, we'll be full ramp. We'll have 2 bars going on with tap handles at both locations, and our full production will be back up and going strong here. So we're thrilled to be this week's Lorain County Friday Night Lights Game of the Week sponsor, featuring the North Ridgeville Rangers at the Avon Lake Shoreman. Game's going to take place right down the street from us. Stop in.
Hey, Lorain County Friday Nights, welcome back. Sorry for the long break. As usual, we have some technical difficulties. We got Evan Coombs of the Vermilion Sailors, our first sailor to win Peace, Love, and Little, voted as the Peace, Love, and Little Donuts Player of the Week here. So we want to thank the coach for allowing him to have get a little hiatus here from practice, because a tradition over there in Vermilion is on Thursdays they practice late. So I'm assuming they finish up underneath the lights. So, hey, Evan, congratulations on getting the Stillman Cup back home.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I want to let Steve ask you a few questions throughout the interview. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, hey, congratulations. That's a great week. Not only won that one, Key Sports Player of the Week, and you're nominated for the I-90.
Yes.
Super nice accomplishment. And congratulations on a great start to the year. We kind of picked you and Amherst, I thought, as the up-and-coming programs there in Lorain County. So, hey, favorite play that you have, that you normally run, favorite play you had in the game Friday night, and why?
Favorite play from the game Friday night would have to just be that first carry on offense, that first touchdown. I mean, they came out early and got one, and I think that really helped to shift the momentum, take the momentum away from them.
They made it 7-7. So you have 4 touchdowns. What did anything that you saw or that you guys changed? Because started off a little slow, I think, right? And then got the nice touchdown run. Anything that you guys saw that you're like, okay, we got to adjust or whatever thing, did you just stick to your game plan? Certain things you thought would work and kept doing, you stuck to the run?
We came out, we had one play, a power play that we thought would work.
What's the call? What's the call? What's the call in the huddle, Evan, when you know you're getting the ball and you busted one for the big one?
Probably 45 or 46 crisscross.
Okay. All right.
That's our little reverse play that we have.
Okay.
Little misdirection.
Yes, sir.
That worked. Well, that's nice, and obviously quarterback had a nice game too. What anything out of the backfield? Do you get out in any receiving yards, or was it basically just rushing and just got your 276?
Not a whole lot of receiving that game. I had most of it out of the backfield. Run game was obviously working, so we just stuck to that and just kept with it.
They just couldn't stop it at some point. Do you feel like looks like you wore them down in the third quarter? Is that pretty much what you saw, what you felt? Because you can feel it when a team's getting tired and you keep pounding them, obviously, right?
Yes, sir. It definitely seemed like they were tired. They were tired of our run game, tired of our big boys up front, and they just couldn't handle it in the second half.
Well, that's what I heard. So when I went online and was watching and talking, we're Brookside grads, right? Richie and I both. And all I heard from Brookside people was Vermilion's front line, especially offensive line. And I think Brookside's got a pretty decent defense, but what I heard is how physical you were. You felt like that they felt it on Friday night?
Yes, sir. I definitely felt like they felt it. We had a lot of contact up front, a lot of pancakes, a lot of piles happening on the ground, and I think they just were getting tired of it.
Okay, so here's the question. When did you know you were within 22 yards of breaking the school record? Or were you? Is that what I heard? School record was 298. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when were you taken out? Early? Late?
I was not really taken out at all on offense, but me and none of the coaching staff were really aware that I was that close to the record, so we didn't really think anything of it, and we just kept to our game plan.
Well, the great
That's
thing
still
about that, Steve, is he's a junior, and he's got if the Sailors keep on rolling, he's got one non-conference game this week. Well, you guys play Willard, and then
yes, sir.
And then you get rolling the conference play. I don't know how that works with Sandusky Bay Conference because you guys have like an odd number. And then if you continue rolling, Steve, they got week 11. They got playoff football.
I think, yeah. And let you know, I predicted you guys were gonna make the playoffs this year. With it, I don't know when's the last time you guys made the playoffs. I mean, it's been a while, but that's what I said based on everything that I've heard from people that I respect up there. Just all they talk about was Vermilion Amherst, and good luck to you. I'm gonna tell you, I always loved Vermilion, the school, loved playing you guys. We had big battles playing Sailor Way back in the day. And I know that you must be a heck of a well-coached team. You guys are well balanced, and just seem like you've gotten better each of the last couple of years. And we really look forward to seeing you, possibly win your conference. That would be great. We need to get you back in the Lorain County 8 or 10, whatever Richie and I are going to call the new one. But
Great.
we always want Lorain County schools to do well. And congratulations, that's a great week, man. You should savor that and know that you got it in you and you can do it some more with your big boys. Hey, let's shout out because Richie talked about it. Let's talk about the big boys that put on.
The big boys that threw the pancakes and created the piles and helped the Sailors take the Stillman Cup after 10 years. So let's give a biggest shout out to the big boys.
Sir, shout out to the big boys. You want me to name all of them?
Yeah.
All right, so we got our tight ends. We got Bo Benish, Aiden Saunders, Jacob Mayer, Chad Ellis, Timmy Butcher, Mason Plaz, Colin Agnew, and Sean Brownell. And also big shout out to my fullback, Koa Mooney. Set up some great blocks to help set up big runs.
Wow,
Hey,
you guys are dedicated to running the ball. When you talk about fullback, that's almost obsolete in this today and this day and age of football at any level. You barely hear that they got a fullback.
First one to mention a fullback with the big boys, and also the first one to mention not one but two tight ends. Good for you. Smash mouth football.
Yeah. It sounds like the Sailors going to be smacking a lot of people in the mouth.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Hey,
well,
Nate, if you can run the football, you can always play action, go deep. Sounds like that's what you guys kind of do. You control the line of scrimmage, you're gonna win games. That's just where it's won. I mean, you could, you guys spread it out and whatever, but if you can run, protect the quarterback, play action, you're gonna win. And that's what I think that's the way you guys play.
Very simple game, right? Blocking and tackling. So if you can do one of those very well, it seems like they're blocking and they're creating space for the athletes in the backfield. So, as you know, as the Peace, Love, and Little Donuts, you'll receive a certificate for a dozen of donuts. Got the new shirt with the Player of the Week on the back. We'll make sure we get that to you. I don't know what your practice schedule is, Tuesday or Wednesday. Maybe we can meet somewhere. I reside in Elyria. We do a little photo shoot. You get the shirt. You get the Peace, Love, and Little Donuts certificate. And we want to thank you and the coaching staff for allowing you to come over here real quick during practice. And we look forward to following you guys. And tomorrow night you can walk out of there at 1-0 and everybody be healthy.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for coming on, and hopefully you're not the last Sailor that we bring on here.
Definitely not gonna be.
All right. Tell Coach.
You know what that means, Rich? He's coming back for a second bite of the apple. He wants another 12 donuts,
we've only had one, and his middle name was ESPN. So he'd be in great company if he came back. So hey, tell Coach Garcia that I'll talk to him tomorrow, and hopefully you guys will end up 1-0. I believe all of us picked you and who you got. And again, if you want to see this interview, you can go to YouTube, Evan, or your family and friends that are not on Facebook. This will be on YouTube. Search Lorain County Friday Night Lights. And again, thank you, and I'll let you get back to practice.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on.
All right, you take care.
Thank you, too.
That was Evan Coons of the Vermilion Sailors, our Peace, Love, and Little Donuts Player of the Week. And I'm going to turn it over to Steve. Steve's got a good one this week. He's got the Eyes of Joe Photography segment, Make It Make Sense. Take it away, Steve.
Yeah, I'm going to say this, too. Did you see where ESPN shouted out him Friday night? He was Player of the Week at Dayton. Did you see that?
No, I did not.
He was Player of the Week in Dayton in the conference, and they didn't realize his middle name was ESPN.
Oh, I did see that on Twitter. I did.
And they had, Marty Smith put him out there.
Yeah.
He was Player of the Week. So here's my Make It Make Sense.
Right.
Let's talk about 4 teams. We just talked about Vermilion. What's the record? 2-0. Very impressive. Amherst 2-0, very impressive. And in exhibition scrimmage, which I think is important. Midview 2-0. Struggle a little bit on offense, but 2-0. Lorain 2-0, very impressive over Brush and Lorain or in Elyria. What do they have in common? None of them are ranked in the top 25 in the Cleveland.com top 25. We only have 2 Lorain County schools. One, Avon, definitely deserves. Kind of weird because they're 4th and they're behind Hoban, who's 1-1. Don't understand that. And the only other one you have is Ridgeville, who I think is 22. So this comes with we talk about the bias. You've got all the schools down in Akron. You got all these schools. Cleveland Heights 1-1. Hoban 1-1. You've got St. Ignatius, who's 0-2, is still ranked. Give some love, Cleveland.com, to the Lorain schools. These 4 deserve consideration. I don't see where they have also receiving votes, also consideration, but those 4 schools in particular need some little love. If you even wanted to stretch it out, Avon Lake still got a nice squad. Olmsted Falls has a nice squad, right? Yeah, technically in Cuyahoga County, but you got those 4 schools undefeated, not getting as much love as a lot of schools 1-1. It's crazy. So come on, get it together. It's only the next county over at Cleveland.com. Got more schools than just Avon and then Ridgeville. I'm glad Ridgeville's in there. Let's look at the schools that are doing it. Let's get these guys to 3-0. Let's get some love. Let's get some more schools in the top 25. Let's go.
Yeah, Steve, this is the basis of why we started Lorain County Friday Night Lights.
Yep.
Nothing bad to say about the county to the east of us. Just because there's more schools doesn't necessarily mean there's more talent.
There's
and that's why the Marco Siriglianos, the Caffeys, the Jordans, the Lamprons. I could go on. Cy Christensen, look at him. He's gonna have a McLaughlin. We're gonna have 1,000 yards. I mean, we could go on and on and on, and this is why we have this. And I hope people continue to grow with it and enjoy it. That what is Cleveland.com? What are they looking at? Is they just
same old
step
schools.
over from Westlake and put one foot in Avon and then say that's it?
That's it.
And basically that's how we feel. And nothing against Avon.
Look at a lot of last year. Look, a lot of last year was Avon Lake and nobody else.
Right. I mean, they don't know about North Ridgeville, how we followed them since they were sophomores. Barnhart is a junior. I mean, he played varsity as a freshman. They took their lumps. I mean, I'm gonna take the Rangers against a lot of schools in that division. Division 2.
How about like Evan just came on here? He's a junior.
Right.
A lot of I was looking at the rosters. A lot of juniors. Right. I mean, they're going to get nothing but better.
Right.
Lorain. Hey, look. Lorain had a decent year last year, right? It went 8-3 or 8-4, right?
8-3. Bowed out against North Canton Hoover.
Right. So they've
Glen Oak, I believe.
Right. So I mean, let's give some love. I mean, look at some of the stuff that's went on. The receiver there at the athlete Jario Williams had 7 catches, 128 yards. He's got 400 yards from scrimmage in 2 weeks. I mean, Brush is not. I know Brush is a little down, but I mean, they took it to them, pounded them, and then took it to Elyria. Give them some love. You can't tell me they should at least be consideration.
I was at week 1 at George Daniel Field when the Titans took on the Arcs from Brush, and I tell you what, it was a back and forth game in the first half, but the Titans made adjustments and shut Brush out. Basically, I think I missed it. They said Brush scored on the last play of the game, but they pitched a goose egg against them in the second half, and then no one could stop the Davis Williams combination, and then Kimball on defense had a pick. I mean, Lorain is playing good football.
So how about this one? This is what's crazy. So I'm looking it up right now. Ridgeville's 23.
Right.
You know who is 20? St. Ignatius. They're 0-2. I mean, come on. Come on now. You can't. I don't even.
You can't tell me Amherst, who's 2-0, who went on the road to Akron and beat Copley. Come on.
You have a lot of one-on-ones. Hudson 1-1. They're 14. Ursuline's 1-1. They're 18.
Just reputation. This is just reputation. They're not doing any research, Steve. It's just reputation.
I'm watching it. Hey, look, how many times have they, unless it's Avon Lake, when do you have a game a week out there? Not very many. Like Columbia didn't get enough love last year, I think. They haven't got loved enough the last 2 years. Small school, I think they kind of got wore out last year, I believe, with
Right.
Marco and them playing so much two-way. But they should get a little bit more love too. Should have got some top 25. You can't tell me that Amherst and Lorain can't play with. And hey, look, I love Ignatius. Prefer them to win over Eds. Honestly, feel like I'm more of an Iggy guy because I know some of the guys that played at Marshall that went there. But they're not better. I will guarantee you they can't beat Amherst or Lorain. My opinion.
I mean, Cole Norris is started as a quarterback as a sophomore. Now he's in his third year. He had 270 plus all-purpose yards. He had 2 touchdowns in the air and I believe 3 on the ground, 11 carries.
Here's another school I forgot there too. Clearview's 2-0.
Clearview's 2-0.
And I
Right.
should have put them in there.
Yeah.
Clearview's 2-0 and beat a Division II school to death last week.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
40-12.
Right.
Won a game in the playoffs last year, right?
Right.
The same kind of deal, right? Size of junior, right? He started playing.
Right.
Did he play a little bit as a freshman, I think, at the end of the year?
Yes.
Played as a sophomore, now he's a junior.
Right.
Yeah, just not enough love, man. Come on,
Right.
Cleveland, Tom, let's go. Get out to the suburbs. Yeah, right. It doesn't end with Crocker Park, okay? It goes on. There's some good football being played, west of Cleveland.
Right. So
Wow, even Huron. Look at Huron. Why are they not included?
Right.
I mean, I guess they're Northeast Ohio, right? I mean, they're undefeated, and Brookside goes and beats the crap out of Brooklyn.
Right.
And then, Huron goes to Brookside, opening 41-7. Impressive team. Why are they not in there? Is that what
Steve, we need somebody to chime in and make it make sense. So, and someone try to make it make sense because it doesn't make sense to us. So we're going to move on to our stock up, stock down from Midwest Installation group. Stock up. Our stock up is the Amherst Comets as they moved up 4 spots in our top 10 and also sit at 2-0. And you better get there early as they host the Eagles tomorrow night. And we'll have Jam Photography covering that game. And our stock down is, again, this was told to me, in Cuyahoga County, they allowed players to practice and start practice at other schools and then move to other schools and let them practice and play this year. So stock down to whatever entity allowed them to do that. And so for our stock up and stock down, that's Matt Gould. He's our winner of our stock up and stock down, and he will receive a free those $10 team cards, Steve. And we're going to take a real quick break, and we'll get into who you got, and then we're doing a little bit of overtime, and then we're gonna get out of here, Steve. We'll be right back. County Friday Nights. Hey, Lorain County Friday Nights. Welcome back to the Lyria Ford Who You Got segment. We're sitting here at KM Voice Studios here in North Ridgeville. Tyler doing the production for KM Voice. Want to also tomorrow, before I forget, around the noon hour, check out. We have a check-in by Vincent Vacations by Katie Grasso. So we need someone. Please reach out to somebody in the Oberlin community and the Black River community. We need updates. This 2 weeks in a row we haven't got any updates. We're scrambling as we're running into the I-90 Nissan post-game show on Lorain County Sports Network. So we need those updates. We'd like to know what's going on with the Black River Pirates and the Oberlin Phoenix, just to name two. So the Elyria Ford, who you got? We start off with Camp McKinley and Avon, which will be our Lorain County Sports Network, one of our Lorain County Sports Network games that you can video stream. And other than Coach Kabuski, everybody took the Avon Eagles as they continue to soar. Avon's looking to go 3-0 and end the first part of their season undefeated. They have a tough schedule, Steve. They took on beat the Wildcats at Cleveland Brown Stadium, and then they
beat McKinley.
They beat McKinley. Oh, this
Last week.
Yeah, this I need the updated one. Hold on, we'll get it. I see it.
Avon Glenville.
Okay. I'm trying to enlarge it. Okay. Well, got it right here. We've got, we'll start off with the Midview EC game where I'll be at, our Lorain County Friday Night Lights Spotlight game. And Midview is sitting at 2-0. They're big favorites at, 8-3 favorites. Steve, what do you think about the Panthers? They're sitting at 0-2, man.
Got to win, must win, I believe. Must win.
Must
I mean, you can't lose at 26-0. It's got to, start off and have a big lead at home, and then, lose it, get outscored 32-0 the last two. It can't have. I think 0-3. If their designs is to make the playoffs, I think 0-3 is gonna be really hard to come back and do it.
And then we've got the Glenville Tarblooders travel. Man, they've got a lot of miles, spending a lot of fuel there. Hope they're filling up at Sam's Club or somewhere and get that thing under $3 a gallon. Tarblooders travel twice, right? Central Ohio, and a little shorter trip out to the west side as they come to Avon at the Mark Wahlberg Stadium in Avon. But
really liking to see this. The teams, I heard Liberty played a really good game. I think there was some turnovers. You got so many young players on Glenville. 6 freshmen saw the field against Arlington.
Right.
I didn't know one of their best players, defensive end. It was a 3-star transferred to Cleveland Heights right before the season, I believe. So kind of looking forward to see what happens. I mean, it's hard to get up 3 games in a row like that. But I'll tell you, who's got tougher 3-game schedule to start the state? Maybe Ed's. But starting off with Ignatius, who I think is a little bit down, but then you've got McKinley and then Glenville. I mean, that's pretty strong.
Right. So only Mr. Clearview Bob Caldwell took the Tarblooders. And then we go to Chardon, Avon Lake. Avon Lake sitting at 1-1. Avon Lake will find a way to win. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 7-4 favorite for the Chardon. What are they? The Hilltoppers? Yeah. So we'll see. Avon Lake's always going to surprise you. Then we've got the Jam Photography game of the week. Is Amherst is a huge favorite over the North Olmsted Eagles. And I'll go over here and glance, and it looks like Rhonda Brown took the Eagles. It's really surprising. And then we've got North Royalton versus North Ridgeville. We talk about their dominance of North Ridgeville's defense. They're really only giving up 2 scores in 8 quarters. So our Who You Got group, because that's unanimous. We took the Rangers. Then we've got Akron East against winless Pioneers. Rumor is that another young man turned his pads in this week. So I think it's going to get worse before it gets better for the Pioneers. I hate to say that, but that's what we're looking at here. And 10-2. And I'm trying to see who took. It looked like maybe Bob Caldwell or Matt Thompson, and Rhonda Brown took the Pioneers, Steve. Then we've got the WOBO game of the week, Steve. Columbia versus Northwestern.
Tough, right? Columbia comes off a really close loss to Fairview,
Right.
and then Northwestern keeps winning against Lorain County schools. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
Honestly, I watched the game. I thought Columbia looked pretty good, but I think Fairview did well too. So is it at Northwestern?
Yes. It's gonna be the it's the WOBO game of the week.
Yeah, it'd be a tough game. I think Northwestern probably slight favorite, I would believe.
Right. And if you want to know where all these games are at, take a look at the Dan Martin Home Improvement breakdown that's up in the Facebook group, Lorain County Friday Night Lights. And then our another 2-0 team right here in Lorain County is the Clearview Clippers, and they play McDonald. I have no idea. I don't know if they're the Ronald McDonald's. I don't know anything about McDonald, and doesn't seem like anybody else. Maybe Coach Kabuski has something going on. He's the only one that took the Ronalds. And then we've got Keystone versus Crestview. Again, Keystone just outgained Cloverleaf, but couldn't get the win last week. As they take on, I believe Crestvew's in the Ashland area. Everybody took Keystone except Rhonda Brown. It's like a broken record. She'll never learn. And then we've got Fairview Warriors, who are much improved. We got an opportunity to see them on Lorain County Sports Network. They take on our Brookside Cardinals. Three of us took the Cardinals. And then we go to Brooklyn Black River again. We do our check-in tomorrow. Please, people, we need some updates on the Black River Pirates. They're 9-2 favorite here. Again, is that Rhonda Brown? And possibly Sean Swart took Brooklyn. He's probably a little bit of hating on the Pirates there. I think his nephews are playing at Mapleton this year. And then Tyler's Oberlin Phoenix. Maybe one day the Phoenix will rise, but it might not be tomorrow night. As if you ask who you got, Steve, they're unanimous Lutheran East Falcons. And then we go to Plymouth, the Big Red against Wellington. Wellington coming off a victory, beat Mapleton 15-12. And then we've got Firelands, who's traveled out to Poland Seminary. I don't know what the connection is there. Firelands, they're struggling this year. They're trying to find some answers. Poland Seminary is up 10-1 there by who you got. Then we've got the Vermilion Sailors. Just had Evan Coons on today as the Peace Loving Little Donuts Player of the Week. They're big favorites over Willard. I think they're the weaker sister of the Sandusky Bay Conference. I know they have three divisions: the Valley, the Lake, and the River. I could never figure it out. I've got too much going on in Lorain County. Just hopefully before we're done doing this, Steve, like you said, Vermilion comes over back to Lorain County 8.
Let's come home. Bring them home.
Right. And then our WDLW game is Lorain Titans hosting the winless Sandusky Blue Streaks. And like we talked about Camp McKinley a little bit, they're Division II, and I believe Sandusky is Division III. Back in our day, they were two huge, big AAA programs. I mean, with some of the bigger ones. But
they were dominant, didn't they? I mean, Sandusky for probably a decade period ruled the Buckeye Conference, didn't they?
Right.
right up to the brink of when, well, even longer than that, when
Right.
Orlando Case played.
Right. So we had a tough week last week in Who You Got. Dan Giles said, "Oh, lucky I took Vermillion and someone else has saved me." I said, Dan saved you from what? You went like 7-5 or whatever, how many games there were. He's like, "Oh, it saved me from being below 500." I said, "Okay." So after 2 weeks of standing, we got Matt Thompson and Dan Giles sit at 30 apiece, and then I'm right on that AZZ, Steve. With 28 points, I sit in third place. Tyler, we can no longer call him Red Shirt Tyler. Tyler covered our Clearview Lakewood game. He sits at
Very
20.
enthusiastic. Hey,
Yeah,
give him. He was very enthusiastic.
and he
Let's
will
go.
he will be he'll also be giving us live updates. He's doing our spotlight game. Tyler will be covering our spotlight game. He also works for the Lake Erie Crushers, so it's a real busy time of the year. He's bridging football and baseball. He's a recent graduate of Kent State as a Golden Flash, so we'll have double coverage over there at Mercy Health Stadium in Amherst. Tyler will be giving us updates of the North Olmsted Amherst game. He sits at fourth place, 1 point behind me, 27. Then you got Pena, Sowers, Bryant, and Caldwell. Well, Sowers, Bryant, and Caldwell sitting at 24. Rhonda, the Gamblers, at 23. Sword, he, he keeps on going against Wellington and Black River. He sits at 22. Coach is at 22. And though Vermillion has given Adam Joseph Garcia 2 points, he's still a basement dweller. I don't understand that. I thought he'd do a lot better because he stayed with Vermillion true and true no matter what. But he's at the basement. But before we get out of here, Steve, did we get any votes on our poll there? What game you're going to cover? I know you're not traveling a game, but you're going to give us some spotlight coverage because you're administrator on there. We didn't have any votes. So whichever game you want to pick, Steve, and I just want to let you know we're already at 75 members with our Lorain County Friday Night Light edition, 614 edition. And just tell us, Steve, briefly about your group and what you want to accomplish as we move forward and grow our second group in the Lorain County Friday Night Light series.
Okay, so what we did is, God forbid, you got me into a Facebook, which, okay. And so what we want to try to do is do some things down here to spotlight some really good athletes, some great players that have come from this area that honestly, in my opinion, underserved media-wise, and maybe go out to some games and get some people around here, into it. A lot of people here, which is hard to believe, as big of Buckeye fans, didn't know who Tavion St. Clair was. A lot of people never went to go see Sonny or Lorenzo Styles play, or even Jack Sawyer, kind of knew who they were, but we're just giving them a little bit more pub before they go out. There's a lot of good Division I players at Ohio State and around the country. Got a couple guys that signed with Purdue. Obviously, the Buckeyes, one with Kentucky out of Westland. You got a kid that I was talking about that's played at Watkins Memorial, ran a 4.29 or 4.31. I think maybe both at the Buckeyes camp. So we want to try a spotlight game, go out to it, try to get people enthused, get some more on, and maybe do a little bit more. Do like Tyler's doing. I'm gonna pick a game, go to and talk about it, talk about the players, get some people and get them a little bit more pub. I mean, honestly, you got 6 games on there, and honestly, besides 97-1's got a game. I don't know which one it is. That's because they don't publicize it that well. And then you got the CW's got Pick North and Pick Central today or tomorrow. And other than that, there's just not a lot of spotlighting the games. I mean,
There's
you
a
got
void.
6
There's a
right there.
void, and it's a void, and we plan on filling it.
Right. So we're gonna, I'm gonna go out and watch some games and then, talk about it. And, went to go see Upper Arlington versus Glenville. Was trying to go out last week, couldn't do it. Wanted to go see Tavion play, but they moved the game back to Bell Fountain. I really want to go see him play. No, he plays London, which is about 20 minutes from me. Might go see him here in about 3 weeks, but trying to find a game that you guys are interested in, or maybe a player you want me to go watch, a guy the Buckeyes are looking at, Jake Cook, maybe from Westerville North, big offensive lineman or whatever, and go out and tell you what I think and what I saw, and maybe talk about the stadium and compare it to Lorain County Friday Night Lights or Northeast Ohio. I think it's a little bit different atmosphere, but be good to go. So We want to
Okay.
try to, do like you guys are doing up there and spotlight it. There's a void here, and we're just trying to fill a little bit right now, maybe bigger down the road.
Hey, sounds like a great plan. I hope everybody got to enjoy the R&K Technologies ticker here as we finally in week 3 got the setup for the studio. Next week we will have Gary Patton, the only Lorain County Friday Night Lights player, former Admiral King Admiral in Eastern Michigan Huron. I believe they're called the Eagles now. The only Lorain County player to ever win an MVP in a college bowl game. Chime in if you know what bowl game that was. So we'll have Gary in studio. So I just hope everybody enjoyed the show today. It was really nice to get back home to the KM Voice studios here and their production. It's not team; it's a one-man band. And Tyler on the ones and twos. We just felt a little bit more comfortable. Remotes are at times can be very difficult, and but we made
Hey,
it.
can we give a shout out here now? So we're Lorain County Friday Night Lights, but man, this is the pennant race too. So let's get some people on to the Guardians. They're 4 games up. Magic number to clinch the division's 18. Magic number to get at least a wild card spot's 12. Magic number to clinch a 1 or 2 seed is 19. So let's get on them. Browns opening day, and since they just announced, I don't know if you saw this, Rich. Well, you saw, everybody saw, where Jim Donovan, who's been the voice of the Browns since '99, his leukemia/cancer has come back. He stepped down, and they announced Andrew Siciliano, who did 4 games last year. Family born and raised, grew up around Cleveland. He was actually raised himself in, I think, Maryland.
Right.
Always been a huge Browns fan, came back in, and they just named him as the Browns announcer for the year. So shout out to Jim Donovan. I hope you get better, and good luck to Andrew Siciliano. Let's bring a playoff spot, because if number 4 plays well, the Browns are going to just be fine. And let's go Guards.
Let's go Guards, and prayers up to Jim Donovan. Uh, we're we're gonna get out of here. And if you're in the high school football, when you wake up tomorrow, right, and start your day, we'll start our day at 11 o'clock with check-in, our Vincent Vacation by Katie Grasso check-in. And then if you care anything about high school football, this is where you want to be, at the Lorain County Sports Network. I want to thank KM Voice Studios for putting this all together for us. But we've got 6 games, and then a seventh game in Central Ohio. Like I said earlier today, there's no challenge. There's no challenge here. We are the leader. Some other people, a part of our team, can be modest, but that's not me. So as always, Lorain County Friday Night Lights. Stay healthy, stay positive. See you tomorrow night.